Well, the Yankees failed to gain any ground this weekend on the Tampa Bay Rays, and a lot of that has to be attributed to the fact that the Rays just keep beating up on the Orioles. How in the world are the Orioles allowed to be a Major League Baseball team at this point? The ace of their staff is Matt Harvey, who has a record of 6-14 with a 6.18 ERA. That team doesn't even deserve to be in Major League Baseball. I'm pretty confident they couldn't even win the Little League World Series. Sorry, there's no joke today. The Orioles are the joke. Well, you knew that the win streak had to end sometime, and it ended this weekend against the Oakland Athletics. You don't want to lose 2 in a row to a team that you could potentially face next month in the playoffs, but the Yankees are coming off of a nice long win streak. They're still feeling good about themselves. They lead the wild card. For now, everything looks good. You don't want to go through the wild card round, but with Garrett Cole on the mound at home, I'll take the Yankees against anybody in that game. I'm sorry. There were a few positives. I got to give a shout out to my man Jordan Montgomery, who pitched very well yesterday. 6 innings, no earned runs. His ERA is down to 3.52 on the season. He was really mixing his pitches in and out. He was throwing strikes. He had everything working. He had the curveball working. I think since he's added that changeup, which is getting a little bit more depth this year, and he's throwing a little bit more often, as are all the Yankees pitchers, I think it's made him a better pitcher. He's healthy, and he's still in his 20s. We might have a decade of Jordan Montgomery to look forward to. Also, Brett Gardner did a really nice job in center field yesterday. He tracked down a couple of balls that were really tough plays. DJ LeMahieu made a nice play on defense. It was a rough day for Gio Urshela over there. Anthony Rizzo didn't have a great weekend defensively, so there were some ups and downs, and obviously the team didn't hit too well this weekend, the last couple of days. But I have a feeling that once you get back into Yankee Stadium and you see the Orioles next weekend, the bats will heat up again. You just got to figure out a way to hit over these next few games against the Angels. Anyway, welcome to Yankees Game Day 2.0, as I'm calling it. I've kind of built it in a way that it mirrors a little bit of the Yankees game night to where I can put them together really quickly. So I've got some interesting segments coming up, and then I will see you for Yankees game night tonight before the game gets started. No recap until Wednesday night because the Yankees are playing on the West Coast on Monday and Tuesday. The Klubot is back. Corey Kluber will be making his first start since he left the game after his no-hitter with shoulder tightness. He ended up not having any kind of surgery, just doing a little bit of rehab work. This has potential to be big. Corey Kluber was pitching like an ace before he got injured. He was 4-3 with a 3.04 ERA and a 1.20 whip. Now, those numbers are a little bit deceptive because he got off to a really bad start earlier this year. He turned it up. Even before the no-hitter, he had been pitching well for a few starts. His command was coming around. He was throwing a lot more changeups. But one thing to note is that this was all happening during the spider tack era. We have no idea what Corey Kluber was doing or what he was not doing. But he does have a track record of being exceptional. And if he's healthy, I'll take Corey Kluber as a number 2 against any other number 2 in the American League, for sure. And the best part is, you don't need to keep him healthy for that long. You can kind of ease him in, maybe throw him 4 innings on Monday night, maybe throw him 5 innings the next time out, but build him up and get him to that point where he was right around the time of the no-hitter going into the playoffs. I certainly feel like Garrett Cole is going to win you the wild card game at home. If he doesn't, it'll be a huge upset. And then opening up the second round, the division series round, possibly against the Rays, with a guy like Corey Kluber, a second ace up your sleeve, it can allow you to win that first game on the road and snatch home field advantage right out of the gate. Corey Kluber is going to be a big reason whether the Yankees win or lose this season. Pretty much the only offensive highlight yesterday was Giancarlo Stanton, who had 2 hits. and I'm not afraid to eat a little bit of crow. Giancarlo Stanton has really turned it around since he began playing the outfield, which was actually a month ago today. In that time, he is batting .323 with 8 home runs and 21 RBIs. He has a 1.051 OPS, a .417 on-base percentage. He's walked 13 times. He has struck out 21 times, but he has 30 hits in the last 27 games, 25 of which he started. And over that time, the Yankees have really played well, 21-6. And with both him and Aaron Judge swinging the bat well and both playing good defense, you see what that does for this team. One question that I do have for the audience, for the people who tune into this channel day in and day out, is do you think the Yankees should still explore ways to get rid of Giancarlo Stanton in the offseason? Because I still would. I don't care how good a season he has. In fact, if he has a great season, that really increases the likelihood that another team would trade for him. Now, I know that Giancarlo still has a no-trade clause, and I know we should be appreciative of how well he is playing. But let's face it, his contract is a real problem for the Yankees, and even though he's playing the outfield, we don't know how many more years he's going to be able to do that. I'm extremely thankful for all the things that Giancarlo Stanton has done for this team over the last month, but I still think that the Yankees would be better served having that roster spot open next season. However, we do need to give some credit to where credit is due. Giancarlo's not only hitting for power, he's hitting for average, he's getting on base. I need to give a big shout out to Giancarlo Stanton for turning his season around the way he has. All right, before we wrap up Yankees Game Day 2.0, a few news and notes items. Kluber Torres hit a home run in his rehab appearance yesterday. It was a bomb, and apparently he is right around the corner, and that's going to create an interesting situation for the Yankees. What do you do with Andrew Velazquez? Do you keep him on the roster, or do you send him down? Now, it's clear that Kluber Torres is going to start, but you could make the argument that Andrew Velazquez is a better backup shortstop than Tyler Wade, although Tyler Wade can play the outfield. Now, the Yankees are lucking out because the rosters are expanding, so maybe you keep both guys on the roster. Be interesting to watch. Latest on Clint Frazier, Miguel Andujar, and Luis Severino. So Aaron Boone said that Clint Frazier and Miguel Andujar's statuses are basically uncertain. He doesn't think either of them are necessarily going to return to the Yankees this year. And personally, I think they should just pack it in. Go play some winter ball, get your swing back, and hopefully report to spring training next year feeling good. And Luis Severino has begun throwing from 70 feet, and he could be returning to a bullpen role over the next couple of weeks. The Yankees have had a lot of bullpen problems, and if you get Severino capable of throwing 1 or 2 innings, that could really help you out down the stretch, assuming his stuff is what it has been in the past. Yankees will face off against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim of Earth over the next 3 days, and then they're off on Thursday. They return back to the Bronx, and then they play those Baltimore Orioles. Now, I don't want to count our birds before they hatch, but if the Yankees can somehow sweep these 3 games from the Angels, you could have another 6-game win streak here, backing up off of those 13 straight and then the 2 straight losses. So Yankees been a little bit up and down, but hopefully headed in the right direction. Special shout out to the Patreon supporters and anyone else who has supported this channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it the old thumbs up and subscribe for more Yankees content year-round. If you really enjoyed it, check out the Frieze. It's the official podcast of this channel. Or pick up some swag from the Teespring store, link in the description. Thanks for watching.